my name is Christina and you're watching Proud Book Lion, and today I'm doing my wrap up part 7. So I read 5 books since last we spoke, and today I'm going to talk about them. I think that I first off read City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare, and this is a reread for Emma's readathon of all Cassandra Clare's books, and I really enjoyed it, although it is probably one of my least favorites, and that's basically because a lot of things don't happen in this book, and Simon really acts like a douche. I'm sorry, but like the way he treats certain people is like not okay, and like Simon is one of my favorite characters, especially after reading Academy, so seeing him do wrong and like not be this perfect Simon that I know felt like strange. So I didn't love it like I love, for example, Lord of Shadows, but I really enjoyed my time reading it. It's Cassandra Clare. What did you expect? So I gave it 5 out of 5 stars again, of course. After that, I actually read a Swedish book from my library, and this is called like End Station Psychiatric Care, or it's kind of hard to translate because I don't know the terms and I do not want to get the terminology mixed up, because it's basically about how when the care system fails, at least in the past, a lot of self-harming humans have ended up in centers, psychiatric centers, where prisoners are held because they aren't able to live out their penalties in actual prisons. They are deemed not only unstable, but that they have a mental illness that prevents them from serving their time in jail, so they end up at these treatment centers, kind of, where they are imprisoned. And when our care system failed, a lot of young humans that had done absolutely nothing wrong also ended up here, so we get to hear their stories, and we get to hear how the people around them reacted, and also how the people in charge argumented for their sake, and how they protected themselves, and how many wrong things our government has done, and how poorly these, especially girls, I believe there were only girls actually sent away to these places, and it's just awful and horrid to read about how poorly we as a society and the rulers of my country reacted and acted, to say the least. It was kind of really hard and tough to read, and I was mainly upset about everything, but I also think it's super duper important to actually have some knowledge and understanding, especially as I do want to work within a field, at least within the vicinity of just this, when it comes to mental illness and facilities and care centers. So I thought it was a healthy read for me, but it was upsetting to read. But hopefully it will benefit me in the future and make sure that no more people get treated the way they did. So this is by Sophia Åkerman and Therese Johansson. Been at risk of being sent away like these girls were. So their research has been very well done. The writing is authentic. They have true witness stories, and they're just pretty awesome human beings that I really admire and look up to. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. After that, I read We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. This is the backside. I've heard so many amazing things about this, being the lesbian love story ultimatum, but still kind of sad. And it's probably a bit weird that I love the sad side more than the actual like lesbian side. There's not a lot about being a lesbian in it, especially. And I do really appreciate that, because our identities, like who we happen to fall in love with, is just a part of us, and it's not what is us. It doesn't really define us. It's just another aspect of our life. So that was an aspect that I really loved, and it's really sad and it's tough, but it's really raw and authentic, and it makes you think a lot, because I can recognize my own behavior in both of the girls, not only the main character. So yeah, I truly loved it, and I love reading about college, especially as I'm getting a bit older and I'm actually graduating and starting uni. So I just feel like I appreciate those books more right now as I'm at that stage. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Up next, I read a book by Arthur Conan Doyle, and yes, this is a Sherlock Holmes book. And yes, it is tiny, because this is like a retelling of another author so that younger children are able to read it. But the thing is that I work extra as a tutor, and one of my students actually had an assignment on this particular book, and my library didn't have the full one, so I thought to have a better understanding for my students' sake, I could read this retelling and actually know what he was talking about when he was writing his essays, so I could help. So I read it. It was like 111 pages. It was fine. I don't even know if I gave it any stars because I wasn't too bothered with it. It told the story in very short, very concise, and in a language that I haven't read for a lot of years now. But yeah, I guess it was pretty okay. It's The Baskervilles Hound, I think it's called in English. I don't really know what else to say about it. And the last book is Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold, and the reason why I actually borrowed this book from my library is because I recognized the cover, because I watched this movie like 3 or 4 times and I always cry. And I'm not a big crier at movies or TV series or even books, so like getting me to cry is pretty impressive, although I was like 7 when I first watched it, so I might have been more impressionable at that age. This is about a girl and she actually has passed away. She gets murdered and we get to follow her up in heaven, watching her family grow and evolve and change without her. And it's kind of, in a way, heartbreaking, but also reassuring and comforting in a weird mixture that I can't really explain. I actually really love the writing, and I love the idea of it. It's an idea I haven't read before, and the concept is just striking, and I truly liked it. I think I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and it's definitely a book worth the read, even if you watched the movie. But yeah, I really truly love this book, and it has got a special place inside of me right now because it's kind of just on my mind a lot. Those were the 5 books that I read since last we spoke. What have you read? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to me, and I hope you have a great day /night /whatever part is for you. Bye!